Hello Capricorns, welcome to your April monthly reading. You're going through some things, and if I choose to mention it, because Capricorn is such a strong sign, the strength that you have is unlimited. If you're going through a hard time, then we know it's a hard time. Is the lighting okay? I feel like, oh, this is better, right? Oh, it's better? All right, that's fine. So people know that you can handle, right? You're strong because you got this. You always got this. Your work, your relationships, your friendships. You are the one who always carries. Because you can. And because you're used to. So it's one thing that they tend to take it for granted, or they think that they can say whatever they want to because, oh, he'll take it or she'll take it, or they can handle it, they can do it. But what happens if you're the one doing it to yourself? What happens if you are so used to just carrying the burden? Card that comes out, first one, King of Pentacles, that represents the month of January, that represents Capricorn. That's hysterical cards. 78 cards in a deck. And the first card that falls in the reading for Capricorn is the card of the Capricorn. Lovely. So this is you. Hi. Put you aside while I convey the message. Because I was meditating on your energy. And that's the thing that kept coming up. Strength, strength, strength. And we all know Capricorns are strong. Thing is, you know it too. You're used to it. You're used to operating from it. You're used to carrying the burden. You're used to carrying the workload. Holding the pain. Holding the feeling. Surviving. What happens when you are so used to being strong and handling things that you just stay in a place? 5 of Cups, 10 of Wands, when they read my mind. When you stay in a place that is a burden, that isn't benevolent, that isn't inspiring, that isn't you, just because you can. It's almost like handling shit, excuse my language, is so easy for you because you're so good at it. So you don't even notice that you're doing it. You don't even know that it's hard for you. You don't even know that you're in pain. You don't even know that you're being suppressed, that your essence, that what you love, what you want is being suppressed, because what for most people will be unbearable or annoying or just, they just can't handle it anymore. They're just handling it. They're sticking through. Excuse me for comparing, but I don't really think you're a donkey. But it's like a donkey that is so used to carrying so much load, it doesn't even know it's carrying. So it's just walking. So one day the load is off, and it's like, I feel like I'm elevating, I'm flying. That's how you will feel when you will get rid, or when you will leave all the things and all the places that burden your heart, your soul, your mind, your body, everything. And you say to yourself, but why? I can do it. But is that the question? Maybe the question is, why should you? Of course you can. We know you can. You know you can. Nothing to prove. We know you can. The shadow. I wanted to talk about shadow work, and all I do is handle the shadows that are in lighting. Okay, this was a reminder for me to talk about it. question is, why should you? If this life, this world is infinite, and there is the option to be burdened and carrying the load, and there is the option to walk lightly in things that bring you joy. Why? Because you're used to it, because you can. When someone does that to you, when a person in your life just puts all their shit on you just because they know you can, and you take it, and you don't say anything, you just do it, but you still think to yourself, yeah, they know I can do it, but why do they choose to do that to me? Why do they think I deserve that? Why do you think you deserve that? Because you're doing that to yourself. And the reason I am talking about it is because now it's time to not do that anymore. You know, the alignments, the stars, the planets, everything that is going on right now is basically screaming at you to make strong choices. Strong choices, not of the stamina, of the survival, strong choices of the heart. You are used to having a strong mind, a strong body, strong will, or Capricorn. But sometimes that prevents you from following the path of a strong heart, listening to what it is that your heart wants, not what it can endure. You can endure anything. I know you Capricorns. I have so many Capricorns in my life. I admire and love every single one of you. Never met a Capricorn I didn't like / respected. Yes, you can. We know you can endure. Why do you need to? You are sticking through, carrying the workload, preventing yourself from joy because you can. You can also throw all of this out. The consequences, the risks, well, we know you can endure that as well, right? So why not take the risk of failing at what you love rather than take the risk of enduring and failing? You don't fail, you succeed at enduring what you don't love. And that strength of yours, sometimes gets the better of you because, oh, I'm not in grief. I don't feel this sadness. Oh, I'm not annoyed. I'm not upset. And it's not that you're lying to yourself. It's not that you're in denial. It's just that your level of, the line that you need in order to break is so high up there. It's so hard to get to the point of breaking you that you're just sticking through like enormous amount of either pain or anger, and you're just handling. You don't even feel like you're sad. You don't even know that you're angry. That's the point that you've reached. So here's a new challenge that is outside of your regular box. Try to endure the risk of following your heart and of doing what brings you pleasure and joy. Excuse me. Hey, doggy, come here. Go. My dog loves to make every single possible noise when I need to focus. Now, if I was a Capricorn, I'd be like, hey, it's okay. I can focus with all this noise. I can focus. I can make that work. You can make as much noise as you want. And yes, I'm a Taurus. I am a very good competition to the endurance of the Capricorn. I think Tauruses are even stronger than Cappis. I'm sorry, Capricorns, but if you don't know a strong Taurus, you don't know strength. So yeah, I can handle his annoying noises right when I need him to be quiet. But I can also not handle it and be like, I deserve to do this great video for my great Cappis with silence and focus. So he needs to shut the F up. I love you, Oliver, but you need to shut the F up. So I take away from him the ability to make noise. I took off his leash, whatever. But you're getting the picture, right? If you have the option to choose, you don't need to practice. Done. You don't need to practice. You've practiced. The World card comes out to tell me, yep, I'm on point. I'll explain why in a second. You don't need to practice because you already know. The World card is up there. He's mastered it all. She has mastered it all. You have the abilities. You don't need to prove yourself that you can. You don't need to prove yourself that you are able. We know, you know. I don't know how many times I need to repeat this. You're at the point where you need to start enjoying it. Another thing about the world that emphasizes what I'm saying. The world is a completion of the self. It's reaching that level of such high awareness of who you are, what your abilities, and more so than your abilities, what you love. Because just because you can do something, just because you're good at something, doesn't mean you should do it. What means you should do it is whether or not you want to, whether or not you love it. Because if you are a talented person and you can do many things very, very well, then that's where you have the danger of staying in places just because you're good at it, just because you can, even though you're not feeling joy, you're not expressing yourself. Maybe it's better to be someone who knows very well how to do one or two things that they happen to also really love, and then they don't have a choice but to follow the path of their heart, right? But if you are very talented and gifted in so many things, now you need to master something different, the ability to know thyself enough to know what your heart wants. What do you want to do? What will allow you to go home feeling joy and ease, and not this, being burdened by everything? This is it's ironic because I know someone that this will be very relevant to. This is the card of the person that carries so much burden, they're not even aware of how much they're carrying, that at one point their body starts to talk and be like, stop, just please stop doing this to me. I want to feel light. I want to be happy. I don't want to be in places just because I can. Or because, I don't know, reasons A, B, C, D logic. I want to be in places because of a light heart, because of passion, because of inspiration. I don't know. Whatever. And this is where the body starts to crumble. It's a psychosomatic where we are, our psychic is in pain, our spirit is in pain because we don't serve it, we don't listen to it, we don't listen to our high spirit as it's trying to guide us in our direction, but we don't listen to it. We fight it because we can endure. And then we start crumbling. And then places that we're supposed to be happy, we're miserable and we don't understand why. But I'm doing everything right. But I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Why am I not happy? Because you're not doing everything right. Doing everything right is being you, ultimate you. The world that is you. I'm being hard on you now because I know you can handle it. Because I know you can listen and be like, you know what? I know you have the ability to do that. Your strength even overcomes your ego, which is not something that anybody can say. But maybe recently, and that's what maybe have led you there, your ego is getting the best of you, because your ego is also telling you, you are a survivor, you can handle, you can carry, that's what you need to do, that's what you should do. Your ego doesn't want you to be the person that throws something out of selfish needs of doing what they want. Because what will it say about me? About who I am, who am I supposed to be? How will people look at me? What will they think? So you're putting another workload on you. People's perception. Okay. All right, let's carry this as well. I mean, we might as well. We can. The Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to say something you might not like. You're acting like the camel. And I was just thinking about one time I saw a horse that was horrible carrying a carriage. And it was moving, it was moving, it was moving. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it fell. The horse just fell into the ground and it couldn't move anymore. It was heartbreaking. Just thinking about it makes me. You're so strong, you're not even aware of how tired you are. In your heart and in your mind, you need to fill your life with things that bring you joy and ease and simplicity. Not fear the consequences, not fear the results. Because the consequences of if you won't are much more dangerous. You are slowly killing yourself. Slowly, you don't notice. You don't notice. And your body tries to tell you. But you're like, oh, I can handle that as well. Until one day you can't. So you have to do it now. Because I don't want you to be that horse that carries everybody and everybody just keeps enjoying the ride. Because they don't even know that you're a second from falling. There are opportunities that for you seemingly will make you less than where you stand right now, right? Maybe it will be a decrease in status or in money or whatever. But you need to take them. If it's an opportunity to get off that camel, to get off that horse, to get off that donkey. This is also someone that is riding you. You're not this guy. You're this. And someone is riding off you. That's what happens to Capricorns. To strong Capricorns. There, it depends on your map. Maybe your moon and rising or Venus or other aspects of your map are stronger. But hardcore Capricorn, that's what people do to you. They ride on your back. That's what a lot of times attaches to you. People who need your energy, need your money, need your time, need your ability to listen, to be there. And they take your energy. And that's another thing, another workload that you're like, oh, I can take it. I have the shoulders to help them. I have the shoulders to carry them through. But you're taking one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. And one day you're feeling an itch here, and then an itch there, and then this starts to not work so well. And it's like, and you're like, oh, why is my body? But my body should be fine. It's screaming at you. Let me convey this as a challenge for you. Maybe this way you will listen and actually like it. The challenge, okay. you have the strength of the body, and you have the strength of the mind, and you have the strength of the endurance. Now I need you to have the strength of the heart. Do that crazy thing that you always wanted to do, but seemed too risky or too irresponsible, or who knows what it will mean, or what will people say, or whatever. But the thought of it brings you so much joy and passion, and just brings you to life. Just thinking about it, just talking about it, just brings you to life, gives you light. Suddenly you're not feeling pain at all. That's the sign. Seeing the places and the people that when you're hanging next to them, you're feeling the most drained. Versus the people and or places that you feel a little bit more energized. You need people and places that give you energy, that generate energy in you, not ride your energy, not exploit your energy. Now, yes, you know how to put on boundaries and you know how to make them stop. Okay. But why should you? If someone is making you unhappy, don't waste energy on always making sure that they know what it is that they need to do or not to do to not, hurt you. Don't be around it. I have the image of a person inside a room. And that person keeps dodging people or situations that are not good for them. But it's actually the room, the walls, that isn't good for them. Those people that you need to dodge are a part of a bigger place that you need to dodge. They are the expression of the essence that is hurting you. Don't be in the essence. Rather than spending energy and running away from this and running away from him and running away from her and avoiding this and avoiding that, just avoid the reason, the creator of all that. Does that make sense? Huh. Okay, see? Exactly that. This person is inside a room, and the room is small. It's so small on him. It's like, it's bigger than the room. It's about to I'm too big for this. And he's focusing on all the wands here that are allegedly his problem, right? All the expression of the actual issue that he's inside a shoebox that is way smaller than his size. You need to be up there flying above the world and not held stuck in a shoebox with people who are an expression of that shoebox. Now it makes sense in my head. Bottom of the deck. Amazingly enough, the star. The star is finding the fountain of youth. The star is true love. The star is hope. The star is inspiration. It's divine guidance. The star is inner expression of the self. Truthful, most truthful, shameless expression of the self. She's butt naked, right? And it's nighttime, but it feels like daytime because there's so much light. The star represents the story of the Pandora box, which holds all the demons and all the angels. Once you open the Pandora box, you open everything and everything releases. So yeah, in order to tap into the inspiration and the joy, you also have to tap into the demons because they're all lying in the same place. The fears, the darkness, the things about yourself that you shamed in yourself, the things about yourself that you're uncomfortable with revealing even to yourself. Because you're trying to be righteous and do the right thing, but doing the right thing and being righteous is what brought you this far. Almost on your knees. Almost, because you're never on your knees, right, Cappi? Almost. The horse that I spoke about was walking and walking and walking and walking until suddenly it fell. She's on her knees because she's, close to source. It's a choice. She's touching the earth. She's gazing at the stars. She's pouring water. It's creation. It's a lot of artistic expression. The star is a wonderful card for songwriters, for actors, for artists, for poets, for healers. Because when we open our Pandora box, we also heal, right? The path to true healing, self-healing, is the path inward to the true self. Only your true self can self-heal you. Only your true self can self-heal you. And your true self is not inside a shoebox. The true self is inside of the world. This is, by the way, we already entered the bottom of the deck. This is the part of the extended reading. So we start with intuitive reading, that we let the cards come out, and now we're going to the bottom of the deck. The first card that came out was the star. I'm going to keep looking at the bottom of the deck, and I'm going to soon show you the cards, and then maybe we'll clarify some of them. And then I will finish up with the rune, which is what I'm doing for the readings for the next month, and maybe I'll keep doing that for the next months. We'll see how you guys like it. Okay, so leave comments if it resonates with you and if it speaks to you, so I know, because I need confirmation. I need confirmation. All right, let's keep going. We have the star, the lovers, the devil, and the 9 of cups. Okay. So I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to talk. So, okay. So funny enough, as soon as I speak about conformity and doing what you think is right and what the right thing to do, what you have to do, what is your obligations, and what is it that you can endure, and then having to step out of it. As soon as I start talking about you needing to leave the shoebox and listen to your heart and listen to your passion and listen to the path of the heart, which is the path of the warrior. Have you read Carlos Castaneda, Don Juan's? I'm now the teachings of Don Juan. I'm now reading all the volumes again, 11 years later. And if there's one thing that is keeping emphasized there, and it's something that I try to live my life in accordance, is the path of the heart. Basically, Don Juan says that all paths lead to the same place. If you want to be morbid, then death. All right. The only thing that makes a difference between one path and another, whether it's a good path or a bad path, is whether this path has a heart. If your path currently does not have a heart, you need to be on the path of the heart. And funny enough, I'm getting the star. It's the ultimate card of the heart. I'm getting the lovers, which is a card of making choices, strong choices between two paths. Sometimes it can reflect a choice between focusing on work or focusing on love. Sometimes it can be between you know, different big life choices. It could be between two people. Either way, it's dramatic choices, right? That will determine your path. And what it speaks of is to choose the path of the heart. Once again, and it comes to me right next to the star. And it comes with the devil. How does it go? The best way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. Oscar Wilde, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was Oscar Wilde. The best way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. Now, if I had the devil, which is, by the way, also the card of the Capricorn. Cappies, you have, this is a reading for Cappi, and out of 78 cards, I got the 2 cards that represents Capricorn. That's how strong your energy is. That's how strong your energy is. If this were to come with other cards of unawareness and bullshit like that, I would say fears, blah, blah, blah. And yes, it can represent the fears here to do what's right, but then you don't do what's right. And so the devil's here, especially next to the Lovers and the 9 of Cups, which is the Wish card. Star is also the Wish card. It's guiding you, again, through your passions, through your darkest, Pandora's box, instincts, through the path of the heart, to the wish fulfillment of the heart. This is a wish fulfilled from the heart, the 9 of Cups. The Cups suit represents the story of Psyche and Cupid from the Greek mythology. And they went through a journey of, you know, trust and then falling in love and then losing and then regaining trust, and there's a whole journey that Psyche needs to do, and then Cupid finds her, blah blah blah. It's pretty, but ultimately in the 9 of Cups, that's when the wish is fulfilled and true love is fulfilled, after there was a release of everything they tried to hold on to be the right answer, and they just went with the path of the heart. This is an 8 of Cups, the card before that. Psyche goes through to the underrealm to meet Persephone, the queen of the underrealm, to go through a final test to prove that she's worthy of Cupid. And she goes there knowing that no one returns from the underrealm, but she takes the risk anyway. It makes no sense. She knows she's probably going to die, but she doesn't have a choice because she feels like she can't do anything else. If she does anything else, she'll just crumble and die. She feels like she has to follow her heart, so she goes to the underrealm, and then a miracle happens. Persephone grants her her wish and helps her win the final challenge, whatever. You know, it's a long story. You get the picture. But then the Lovers unite, Psyche and Cupid. Great. But here's the thing, guys. Nothing ever happens unless we help it happen. And most of the cards here that show all this walking the path of the heart, wish fulfilled, being joyous, and finding the fountain of youth, 3 out of the 4 are major arcanas. They are guidelines, but they're not a result. If you do it or not, I don't know. What will you make the choice of acting upon your wishes and your heart, or will you stay in the shoebox? Magic happens outside your comfort zone, and you know what? Even your comfort zone isn't so comfortable anymore. It's like you're starting to feel it, how it's little by little closing in on you. You know, like in the horror movies, like when the walls are getting closer and closer and closer on you. You have to break free to the world, to the Star, to the Lovers, to the 9 of Cups. Yes, to the Devil. Go down. The Devil is in the Pandora box. What do you think? That's where all the demons are. All our fears. That's what it represents. But he also represents passion and sex. Whatever. The snake here, the blood here. Ladies out there, this is not an encouragement to go with the guy that abuses you. I'm talking about the path of the heart not the path of the twisted psychology of childhood issues where you're looking for someone to abuse you just because you don't appreciate yourself. I'm not giving you that excuse. I'm talking about you being an aware person that knows better. Anything that is abusive or negative, no. There's no staying for the lesson. There's no staying for the karma. Fuck that bullshit, because it's bullshit. The lesson is to leave. Anything that is abusive or making you feel like less of yourself, that brings you down, that doesn't encourage you, that encourages you the opposite, that to not believe in yourself, all that. The lesson is to leave that, not to endure that. Capricorns, this is also something that you endure so much where you're like, okay, if this is really hard, then it must be good because I will endure it and then I will prevail and then I'll even be stronger. No! You will prevail and allow your heart to be stronger if you will refuse to endure that which you are not supposed to endure. Let's see you endure happiness. Huh? Let's see you endure joy and passion and serenity and peace. Can you do that? Because you're so used to fighting. When everything is simple, when everything is simple and wonderful and reflects all your wishes and hopes, then something must be wrong with it. It can't be. No, I need to endure what is not perfect, because the perfect is dangerous. There must be something wrong hiding behind that, right? Wrong. The test, the true test, is to see if you will follow that happiness. I want to clarify this star, the lovers, and the devil. And the world, actually. Because I want to see the good things in your life that are now trying to lure you, pull you, push you to your true path. Because I don't know if you'll recognize it. We don't always look at the signs. They're there, but we don't always read them. And if we read them, we don't always understand them. And if we understand them, sometimes we think maybe they're here to lie to us or to hurt us. Maybe it's a trick. A worse trick than the trick that you're locked in right now. You're locked in a shoebox. How worse could that be? Could it be worse than that? Oh, all right. Oh, too much, too many. Please clarify the star. Too much again. Too many cards. What, you have too many opportunities that you're ignoring? Cappi? What's up? Please clarify with accuracy, not too many cards. The star, the lovers, and the devil. Eight of Swords. You are caught up in your own mind. Too much overthinking. Too much overthinking. Too much analyzing. Analysis paralysis. The opportunities. The fountain of youth. And passion. And your true instincts. And your wishes are all in your face. That you are surrounding yourself with swords. Swords are the mind or the air. You're hugging yourself. And you're wearing the masks. And you're scared. And it fell right on top of the 10 of Wands. Your shoebox. You're sitting in the shoebox being like, this is what I know. This is my comfort zone. Doesn't matter that it's not so comfortable anymore. It doesn't matter that the walls are closing in, that the swords are hurting me. People around you are maybe being a little bit overcritical or judging or That's because they're not your people. There's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with the places that you choose to allow to close in on you. One more card, please. One more clarifier. For the world, the star, the lovers, Nine of Cups. What is preventing us? What will allow us to listen to the roadblocks? What is it in Cappi's life that can help take down the mask and see? Because the star is shining and the world is flying above you. And the lovers are luring you and the bell is like, hey, I'm here. But you're not listening. I wouldn't say that. I mean, you are looking straight forward, right? And you want to move. Although the Knight of Pentacles moves very slowly, if ever. Maybe you are seeing the things, but if I got Eight of Swords is our self-imprisonment. How many did I get? Should I take it? I'm going to take it. I have 5 more cards. They will be our final clarifiers. And then that's it. You'll have to wait a whole other month before you see me again. Or you can come to me for private. It's also an option. The Sun, the Empress, King of Cups, 3 of Cups, Page of Wands. Okay, I have the picture in front of me. The sun is shining. It's telling you happiness is here. Fulfillment is here. It's interesting that I did it this way instead of this way because it felt upright, but okay, I'll figure it out soon. If this is about a choice, one needs to be up, one needs to go reverse, and one needs to stay. But you are surrounded. With people who talk to you. Right? You have the friend, you have the family member who tell you what they think. And they are talking to you from their experience. And they are laying all their experience and their issues on you. You couldn't possibly succeed. You couldn't possibly be happy in there or in that. Too risky. Too crazy. Fear, fear, fear. And you are listening to the shoebox. Where you can be so insanely happy right now. Like, it's almost like the universe really wants you to fulfill all of your, passions and wishes, and it's right there around the corner. So okay? It's in your heart. You know the way to know. Okay. The way to know the people who are advising you wrongly and are holding you back in here. And this is a repetitive thing in your life, Capricorn, in the past few months. Keep yourself stuck in that mechanism. The way to know is if what this person says clicks with my brain, or what this person says clicks with the hairs on my arm that starts to tickle, and with my heart and with my stomach. If it tickles with your heart and your stomach with excitement, then you know that's the path of the heart. Take that advice. If it clicks with your brain, with your fears, with your doubts, with your logic that you tell yourself, no. That's the shoebox. Some of you are sitting there right now and be like, oh, what is so wrong with logic? Logic is science. Logic, keeps us surviving. Yeah, I'm the last person to argue science. I'm a scientific buff. I connect science and spirituality, and I find them to be different languages of the same magic that is called life. Yeah. Don't start talking to me about logic. The brain is a wonderful servant, but a dangerous master. You are letting your brain master you. And you are feeding the fears aspects of your brain. So that is where it's wrong. And also when you shut down your heart, who is just as important, if not more, because in the brain there is the past, our memories, and there is the future, our plans. None of them really exist. The past is the past, and the future is not there yet. The only thing that truly exists is how you're feeling right now. That's the only thing that is true, and that is in the heart. So let the heart make the decision and have your brain carrying the steps that are needed. Let them work together. Okay? But you are not your brain. You are in control of your brain, or you should be anyway. If your body is a car, you are the driver. Your brain is the engine. It goes nowhere without you driving it or clicking it. The life force, the energy in the car that makes the engine also run, that's your heart, that's your pineal gland, which is the third eye. It's a pine cone shaped little thingy in the brain between the lobes that they say is the physical expression of the third eye. We numb it with the bullshit that we eat. But oh well. Yeah, people are, and you're also afraid of disappointing people. I get it, but those are the very people that are conveying their dreams and their aspirations on you. Once again, you are carrying people in your life. So yeah, you can carry some people, but you have to have some contrast, something to balance it. People in your life that help carry you or just generate energy in you to allow you to not only carry others, like that's your nature, you won't stop, but to also carry yourself, your true self, your essence. This was an important reading. I don't know if you will listen because I had a very similar reading for you guys last month. And if this repeats itself, if I keep getting the same cards and the same messages that I need to convey to you, then it means that it's still an issue. If you haven't listened last month, I don't know if you'll listen this time, but I'm hoping. Because you are very gifted. You know, from the star and the world and the sun and the empress, hell, even the devil, these are very talented creatures. Extremely. Like, each and every single one of them on their own in a reading is like, whoa. But the four of them, some of you can be really famous in what you do and what you love. Some of you can succeed beyond understanding of your imagination right now, where you will look back at the shoebox that you held yourself in and you're like, I can't believe I was there. I can't believe I did that to myself. But okay, we live, we learn, right? And sometimes you need the comparison, something to, the horse needs to know what it's like, the donkey needs to know what it's like to carry a workload, a lot of stuff before it can feel the sense of flying once all that is off him. Some of you are, because I got the Empress, which is the ultimate expression of the maternal, and for some reason, I was tempted to put her up reverse when I held it in front of you, and I got the card, the King of Cups, which can represent Cancer, which also is the mother and the Three of Swords. I feel like some of you don't want to disappoint your mother or your parents' expectations. Or some of you are worried, you have some health concerns with a family member or your mother, which is why you don't have energy, or you don't want to do any extreme changes right now because you want to focus on them. Some of you have young individuals in your life, could be either friends or siblings or anything. Could be students that you feel responsible for. You don't want to disappoint. Some of you, it's just this can be a woman that you're taking care of. It doesn't have to be physical. It can also be men who, for example, support their partners when they're not working or something like that, that take the load, of the burden, financial burden, or just taking care of everything. It could be financial, it could be emotional. You're carrying someone when you're supposed to be having fun. So I don't know, some of you not. Yeah, you need to surround yourself with strong, independent individuals that have their own energy, that they don't suck on your energy. So you can just have fun together and generate energy within each other rather than having people around you just take and take and take and take. Now, obviously, this won't resonate with all Capricorns. If you feel like if you're a Capricorn that is living your dream and everything is cheerful and perfect and you're not feeling burdened, you're not heavy, and you're not whatever, then all is great, all is good. Watch your moon and rising, Venus, or just take other things from what I said under consideration, or just have it as a reminder, Okay. Yeah, I left my runes in the other drawer, so I'm back in a second, because it's the last part of this reading. I got a chance to look at my room in the meantime. Was it interesting? All right. Thank you, cards, for the messages. Now, runes. Nordic, Celtic, pagan. It's a very ancient divination tool. Way more ancient than the tarot. From before Christianity. From before religion. When we worked the earth. They are sigils, they are letters, they are energy workers, they have sound, they have color, they are engraved on either a stone or a piece of wood, because it's before people, had pens and papers and pencils. So they carved the shape of the runes on stones. But nice. And there are 24 in the classic pack of runes. In the past 40 years, since the 80s, they've added a 25th rune called Weird, an empty rune. Some rune casters use it, some don't. And the rune for the month of April for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, or cross watchers, whoever was tempted to watch this video. Who else got this? Eihwaz represents the Yggdrasil tree, from which Odin hung himself. Odin was the Celtic pagan god, like Zeus. He hung himself upside down from the Yggdrasil tree for 9 days because he wanted to, get the secrets of life. And after 9 days and nights, the runes in Gaelic means secrets, unveiled to him, and they gave him the power of knowledge, all of knowledge, because they represent all of the knowledge, all of them together. So this is the tree that Odin was hung from, the Yggdrasil, It represents the connection between the worlds, between the living and the dead, between the sky and the earth, between the paternal god and the maternal goddess. It represents strong protection because they used to make weapons out of this tree, you know, like bows and arrows. It means that you are guided and that you are protected if you choose to walk the path between the world. The path of the heart is also the rune of the spiritual warrior, of course. Of course, it resonates with the reading. It's awesome. Specifically, this is carved on a stone called hematite. It's also known as the bloodstone. It's very good for grounding, for spiritual work, because we don't want to go lost in the spiritual realm, so it's grounding us. It means that you have the weapons, you have the tools and the guidance to hang yourself upside down from a tree, knowing that maybe you'll die, but maybe you will win the secrets of the world and find eternity. Eihwaz. Not to be confused with Eihwaz, which looks like an M. I will write it down in the description. Thank you, Capricorns, for listening, for following, for subscribing, for liking, for commenting. It warms my heart. It gives me strength to keep doing this because I do this for free. On the other hand, if you want a private session, also the details are at the bottom. You can just email me. And I will see you in May. And that's it. Bye, Cappies. Love you all.